What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and it seems like we have another Lego set. This is the Imperial light cruiser from The Mandalorian, and this is just another big Lego set that we're going to be taking a look at. I know I'm also kind of late to this Lego set, but just like the Razor Crest at the end of 2022, this set is retiring, so I did want to get my hands on it. And here we are, and there is a lot included in this set, so let's take this 1,336 piece set and get right into it. Going into the build process of the set, like I said earlier, this is 1,336 pieces, so this is a quite big set, and I mean, you can obviously tell by the box art, but this is a build process that is broken down into 9 segments. There are some segments that have 2 bags, but you know, there's just 9 big bags overall. And I have to admit, the build process, I don't know if I was still, having that rose tinted glasses from the Razor Crest, because I did start building this shortly after, but I did have fun. There were some parts I did find semi frustrating. It says plus 10 on the box, but I know for a fact 10-year-old me would not be capable of building this set. I was a very dumb child, so I don't know if I would recommend this to a 10-year-old, but there are some parts of the set that are semi-complicated, even for my dumb ass. But I did have fun building the set. It was really cool seeing it, come to life, the shape of this ship. I really do like Star Destroyers and, Imperial cruisers as well. I really like that triangle shape. I don't know, there's something just nostalgic about it ever since seeing it, the first one from episode 4. But that's just how I feel. But while building this set, one thing I did realize is how sturdy this set is. It does have an interior, so this set does need a skeleton to support the exterior and create walls for the interior, and it is very sturdy. I'm not saying manhandle it and throw it around and whatnot, because it will break, but if you're just grabbing it by the handle and making it look like it's flying, or you drop it accidentally, there's a good chance that this set will not break on you, or most of it will stay intact. It's just very sturdy, and I like how it feels. One play feature I'll mention now is that the bridge of the ship is actually supposed to double as a handle, and it is very sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So if you do want to make it seem like it's flying, you don't have to hold it like a tray from the bottom and worry about it getting unbalanced and falling out of your hands. You have a nice thing to grip onto, which is the bridge, which I think is really cool, especially for those 10-year-olds who are, capable of building this set, who like to play with their Legos. Overall, I think it took me around 3 days to build this set, where the Razor Crest only took me 2. Granted, I had less free time to build this set. I'm not saying this takes around the same time as the Razor Crest, but if you are dedicated and, very fast at building Legos, you can easily do this in a day. You can make a day out of it, maybe half a day, I don't know. But overall, I did have fun building this set, despite some issues of me not understanding the instructions, or the instructions seeming like they're being a little too vague or just not specific enough. There's just parts where I got semi-confused. I don't know. I'm really stupid. So, anyways, had fun building the set. It's a very, big set. So, if you need something to do for a day or half a day, here you go. So, before we dive into the final build, let's go over into the minifigures, starting off with Din Djarin, or the Mandalorian, with Grogu/the Child. I forgot what it says on the box, but we're past season 2 now. We've all seen the Book of Boba Fett. But anyways, so I like the printing on him. It looks really good. I think they nailed the Beskar armor down well. I like the helmet. It's a solid silver metallic-y color. They got the Beskar spear looking all nice. They got his little cloth. I really like that, and I actually managed a way to have him pose with Grogu. It looks like he's holding Grogu, and how I achieved this was by taking this little stud that has a peg on it. You plant Grogu on the stud and have Mando hold the peg, and it kind of just looks like he's holding him. It's very easy, very simple, and I just like how it looks. Even though you can't see the stud under Grogu, it still feels aesthetically pleasing. And going back to the printing on Mando, I really like how much detail Lego went into. As you can see, the Mudhorn logo on his shoulder. I thought that was a little cool thing Lego did, just adding that little detail, and just very, very cool Lego. So just overall, all around, just a solid Din Djarin and Grogu, minifigures. Up next is Cara Dune, and it's really all I have to say is that this is just a accurate, good depiction of the character. The print on the outfit looks good. The hair and the head looks good. It's Cara Dune. Nothing. It's not like Mando where they have to get all the pouches and the armor right. This just feels like a solid depiction of the character, and I really like her original blaster rifle with lightsaber hilt at the end of it. And then obviously this is a joke. I just like how Lego's been trying to, without making a new mold, change the blasters, and all they've been doing is putting shit at the end of the rifles, or just the normal size blasters. And up next is Fennec Shan, and if I hadn't reviewed the Star Wars The Black Series version of this character, I wouldn't be too interested in this minifigure, but after seeing all the detail and the lines and the patterns on her outfit, I wanted to see how Lego was going to execute it, and I kind of wish they did a cloth, thing for her because of how intricate her outfit is, but unfortunately they didn't. But I will give them credit that they still did all the lines and the patterns and stuff, despite it just being printed on to the character. Overall, I like how they look. I think they did the helmet well. They have their super quirky, unique blaster. And one thing I also noticed is that she doesn't come with a hairpiece, so she, you can't really take her helmet off unless you want her to be bald, or you do have a hairpiece that will suffice. But she does have two faces as well, so you can, switch them out if you want her to look angry under the helmet or not. Overall, I was kind of wanting more out of this minifigure, but, I think Lego did a good job when it came to the printing and everything else, so I'll give them that. Up next is Moff Gideon, coming in with the Darksaber, looking all cool. I really like his cape. I like how it's black on the outside, red on the inside. Like in the show, it just looks really clean. The printing's good. The hair fits him well. The face print looks good. Overall, really good figure with a really cool accessory and cape. And the last minifigure that is included in the set is the Dark Trooper, looking really cool. I am actually really happy to have this guy. I think the Dark Troopers from the show look really fucking cool and menacing, and I think Lego did a pretty good execution of this guy. They got the print, it looks really good, looks really clean. The headpiece looks real nice, looks really screen accurate. I don't mind that they used what they used for the chest/shoulder piece. It kind of makes him look bigger, like how they looked in the show. Just overall very happy with how this guy came out. And fun fact, if you do take the headpiece off of the minifigure, yeah, there's a print under there for the eyes, but there's also like a mouthpiece and some other stuff. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what the original plan for that print was gonna be, but I am happy that we do have this headpiece. It looks really good, and I really like how they catered for the eyes on the Dark Trooper. So overall, very cool Lego, very nice execution. So here it is, guys. The set is built. It looks really good. It looks sleek, big, mean, clean. It's all these things. It just looks really good. I'm very happy with how it came out. I really like Imperial ships, so I might be having rose tinted glasses on while talking about that, but I think this set came out really well. There's one issue that, it's not really an issue, just one thing that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's the two big guns on top. But that's for more playability for the 10-year-olds that tend to build sets like these and need playability features. And I'm shitting on them, but anyways, they're just really kind of comically big. But like I said, it's kind of just for playability, and so I'm not gonna be super hyper pissy about it. It's something that's there, and I don't mind it. But overall, very happy with how this set came out. And I recommend this set for anyone who's trying to build a bigger set out there. But let's dig into some of the features included in this set, because there are a handful. So going over the first one I did mention earlier is that the bridge does act as a handle. It's very sturdy. Your ship's not going to be shaking around. It feels really good, and I don't feel like it's going to break off anytime soon. So very happy with how that handle came out. And then on the sides of the ship, there are these guns. There's two on each side. They can look up and down. They're just obviously for display reasons. They don't really shoot anything. And then getting into the top guns, the ones I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are complaining that they're too big, but like I said, it's for playability, so I'm going to cut them some slack. But they rotate 360, and you can move each barrel individually. I would personally prefer if you can move them both at the same time, because you never really see the barrels move on their own. And of course, you can shoot the munitions from them, and how you would load them is through the front like any other munition. what's new. But overall, you know, I think that the guns are fine. I don't think they deserve as much hate as I've been seeing. I don't know. It's been a while, so maybe the hate has died down, but I just think that they're fine. You know, I'm not going to display the ship with the studs in them. And then obviously there is the hollow part that I did mention, and the door does feel fine. Doesn't feel like it's going to break off, and it holds up just fine. Obviously this recreates the bridge scene from the show, but obviously they couldn't do it in the bridge, so they had to do it in the middle of the ship, and I think it is a pretty faithful recreation of the bridge. And there's a lot of detail in this area of the ship. There's the hollow table, there's some terminals, there's even some crates for some storage. There's just a lot included in here, and I really like that amount of detail. And just to show you how spacious this area is, here is everyone in that area. Just kind of a, you know, half-assed recreation of the final episode of The Mandalorian when they're all in the bridge. But yeah, no, you can fit everyone in here, so there is a lot of space included. And when it comes to this area of the ship, there's only one issue that I can actually think of, and it's just that if you try closing the ship with everyone in that area, it does not close completely. Granted, you're not going to display this with the minifigures in there because you're not going to be able to see them, but just like if you wanted to transport all of them and, you know, you would just throw them in there, the top of the ship will not be able to close fully. One last bit of accessories slash feature included in the set are these little TIE fighters on the kind of back sides of the ship, and these little hangar bay, deploy bay looking things, and I think it's just a really cool addition. I really like them. They go right there, and I really like just how they look. There's these little cute little TIE fighters, and it's always cool to have more out of a Lego set, and I feel like this just adds a lot, you know, just adds some life to the ship. And they're a really simple build. I did add these studs on the end of them because I did want them to stick in there, because as you saw, there was a little thing there for them to attach to, and they weren't attaching to it without that stud. And there is a play feature tied to these TIE fighters. If you go to the front of the ship, there's like this rail mount area, and if you open up the bridge looking area of the ship, there's a little knob that you can push forward, and it shoots out the TIE fighters. It's just a cool little thing. You don't really shoot them too far out. You can't really at all. I've been pushing it as hard as I can without, you know, trying to break my Lego set, and, you know, they don't go too far. I guess it's just there to be there. I think it's cool that it's added nonetheless. And before we get to the outro, end of the video, all that, let's do some size comparisons, because, you know, I like doing those, and they make the video longer. So let's get into it. Starting off with the last Lego set we did review, which was the Razor Crest. If you haven't checked out that video, I highly recommend it. I really love that set. It's a very fun build. Then up next we have the Hoth AT-ST. I've also done a review on this, so if you want to go check that out, highly recommend. Then up next we have the Imperial TIE Fighter. I've also reviewed this if you want to go check that out on the channel. And finally we have the 20th anniversary Slave 1 Lego set. I do not have a review of this up on the channel, but I thought this would just be a cool Lego set to put side by side with the light cruiser. Here we are in the outro segments. Just some final thoughts on the set. Pros, we got the minifigure selection, the design, the playability, features. It's all good stuff. Some cons, some of the times the build can be a little confusing, at least for me. That's why I question this being a 10 plus set. I feel like they should have upped the age on that. I'm not saying 10-year-olds aren't allowed to build this set. I just feel like it's going to be a lot harder time for them. And after that, just, you know, the lid kind of, you know, not being able to store the minifigures, and the range that the TIE Fighter can be shot out of. I love those features, don't get me wrong. It's just the execution was a little but that's all I can really think of when it comes to the pros and cons of this set. I highly recommend it. I really like how it came out. If you enjoyed this video, a like and a subscription would be very cool. I'm not going to make a comment because that's a lot of effort, and the bell button is broken, so don't even worry about that. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you all in another video, you beautiful bastards.